So to what you were saying about the recruitment, maybe like there's so many avenues we can take, so many things that we can learn from, right? Or do, right? So by yourself, you would not be able to do it by yourself because you have to get over the mentality shift, right? By myself, I wasn't able to do this without you because I needed feedback because I wasn't being myself on camera. I wasn't being natural because I felt like I had to say the right thing and it had to be good and it looked mechanical. It was too staged.
You should have just put a beautiful picture of my face right there and pretend like you were talking to me.
I said I was trying to succeed, not fail. No, but what I'm trying to say is right now, this is our beginning to this kind of venture, right? We're learning the phases of mindsets, what it takes to conquer limiting beliefs, what it takes to rise above what we think of ourselves, the labels we put on ourselves. That's why this episode, that's why I wanted to do episode 2 on this particular video, because flowing from the whole concept of removing your friends that aren't like contributing or ditching your friends or whatever. And just so everybody knows, we don't have any friends that we need to kick out of our lives. However, we talked about subject matters of friends that we think that could do better. We talked about friends that we know push us and friends that we just know are comfortable in life. You know what I'm saying? But with that type of mindset, we can understand, okay, well, there's some changes that's going to be made in me. There's going to be some growing that I'm going to be doing. There's going to be some things that we're going to be learning about ourselves. But now in this economy that we're living in, now is a time for positioning. So not just, removing people that don't contribute, but now you have to take some sort of action. This is the action. Positioning yourself to do something, making content about something that you love and care about. David loves music, but he can't make content with it right now as he is. So we're doing this to help him grow out of this limiting belief that, oh, I can't talk on camera. Or I feel like he's going to get past that. And when he does, he's either going to continue doing this and love it or do his own thing on the side. We're friends. We're good. You know what I'm saying?
We'll always do both. We'll always find a way to make it happen.
Yeah, but I want everybody to know, I want you to know that things as is now, they're going to change. They're going to get better. Sometimes they get worse. We're not going to expect for the worst, because expectation is like mankind's greatest superpower. But we're going to expect the best and prepare for the best and prepare for the worst as well. Like Patrick Bet-David says this all the time. He's like, hey, be paranoid, focus on good things, but be paranoid. It's very good to be paranoid to a certain extent. And because of that type of mindset he has, he's always prepared for things coming up. It's like he did this, he wrote a book, one of his best-selling books is called Your Next 5 Moves. And it's about almost like playing life as a chess game. What are your next 5 moves? Like 5 moves ahead of what you're doing right now. Do you even have that vision, or are you just playing in the moment? You're just like move, 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 move. You know what I'm saying? Are you a pawn trying to become a king, or are you just a pawn? Pawns are expendable, So yeah, you're good, bro. Trust me, you're doing good. You are doing way better than most. Some people can't even do this.
Yeah,
I know I couldn't do this a couple of months ago.
Well, you're helping me out, with you doing all the talking and then throwing the questions at me.
I'm doing all of the talking. It's because you're not talking.
That's good. That's good because I gotta expand this little brain here, make it get bigger. Reading those books, I'll get there. Working on it. So
he is, man. David has blown my mind with a lot of stuff that he's been doing, man. I'm
on page 1 of a book after 3 weeks of reading it. No. I don't know actually what page I'm on.
Yeah. You probably look like Sean Cannell right about here when you're reading the book. Look at it. Look at his face right here.
Yeah, he's possessed or something. His eyes are gone.
He's tired of reading. All right, let's go ahead and roll it on.
So, speaking a little bit deeper on media, I'm curious your take on Mr. Beast recently on a podcast, the Flagrant podcast, revealed that he turned down a $1 billion offer for his YouTube channel. And he said, I'm clearly not looking to sell at this point. He said, maybe if it was 10 or 20 billion, I would even consider it for now. That would make me more comfortable handing over the keys to my kingdom. But ultimately, I think it could be worth way more. I think people on the outside of what's happening in the YouTube world and the content world are absolutely shocked by that. But from your perspective, do you think that he made a bad call, or do you think that he's exactly right? He's way undervaluing what it is.
Well, I mean, a couple things. One, your business is worth whatever the market is willing to pay you. We don't have the details of what was offered to him, but let's do some basic math, okay? So I just pulled up his channel. His most viewed video is 293 million views. It's a 25-minute video. That's the $456,000 Squid Game that he did, which was all over the place.
And one note about that as well is he's also doing multiple different channels, quality dubbed.
Absolutely.
And so his most viewed video, Squid Game, is actually higher in another language.
Yeah, and I'm aware of that. But here, let's do this together. So Super Bowl commercial, you do 30 seconds. What are you paying? $5.2 million, give or take, right? And Super Bowl gets roughly 100 million views, okay? So if we take 300 million people watching the Super Bowl, which is the number here, not including all the other stuff, which means a 60-second clip in this 25-minute video is what? $16 million, okay? So if he's able to get 1 billion views because it's in other languages, then that means that's now a $50 million one video on that number. Then you take that, I don't know how many videos he's got. If we go over here and we see how many videos he's uploaded, he's got total 17 billion views. I'll just do the number on 17 billion views we can do together right now on just one channel, okay? Let's do this together. 17 billion views divided by 100 million, because that's what Super Bowl claims. So that's 170 times 5 million bucks, okay? Minimum, that thing is worth $850 million. So one channel, so I've never even been asked this question, nor have I done the math. His one channel alone has generated a minimum of $850 million, and I'm calculating only one commercial. Yeah. So assume on each video, he can do 5 60-second commercials. If we go to 5 on that, that's $4.2 billion that he has in his channel. So and then added to all the other channels that he has, I think he's right. 10 to 20 billion dollars, the right number.
And YouTube revenue, and also the commercial spots, and then
I saw you laugh over there. Hold on, man.
That was insane. And he built this one in 2006 or 8.
No. I can't tell you for certain right now without actually doing the research, because I don't want to just be throwing stuff out there arbitrarily. But yeah, he let's just say this. He's 24 years old. We're 41. We're in our 40s.
That's crazy.
But see, those were projections that Patrick Bet-David was giving for like one of his videos with the amount of views that it actually has on it. So that's one of the projections that he was giving, you know. But that projection is still showing you that he's worth way more than $1 billion.
That's crazy. More than 24 years old.
At 24.
Sitting on a mountain.
Yeah, but I mean, But look at what he does though. If you've ever watched a Mr. Beast video, you can see why he's making the money that he makes, because he's not just out there, I'm here to get money. Like some of these gurus that you see online, like these Ferrari people, or all these chicks in the mansions, and the Hawaiian shirt with the chest all out, yeah, I got it, man, I'm getting the money, you know what I'm saying? Hey, that looks cool.
The chest salad.
Got the little chest lettuce, I'm
chest
black.
Lettuce.
I'm black, so I got taco meat. No lettuce, just taco meat, just all these little rolled up, look like black pepper on my chest, so it's like when you see what he's doing actual philanthropy. He's giving away stuff. Bro, I saw a video where he bought a car lot. He bought every car on the car lot, and then anybody that showed up that day got to pay whatever price they wanted to pay for the car.
Oh, that's crazy.
Like he was giving away cars for like $1, $2, $5. Like someone was for free. And it was just like, what? He bought out a grocery store and gave all of the food away to a food bank. He's gone inside of Walmart and says, hey, and I think this is really cool because I saw this recently. He goes up to somebody and he says, hey, you have an opportunity to take $1,000 right now or gift somebody 10 grand. What are you going to do? Everybody was like,
give somebody 10 grand.
Really? Right? So the first lady did, boom, give me that 1,000. Next lady, 1,000. Next guy, 1,000. One guy was like, let's gift him 10 grand. He said, all right, you got 20 seconds. Find a random person and give him this 10 grand. So he runs around in the store. He finds this lady and says, hey, look, I got $10,000 in this suitcase. Do you want it? And then he pops open the suitcase and there's $10,000 inside of the suitcase. And I was like, oh my gosh. Oh, I didn't know how I was going to pay my bills. I didn't know this and that. And what did they do for the guy? They gave him 10 grand.
Oh, that's awesome. I like that.
People love that, bro. Man, tears start forming in the corners of my eyes when I see that kind of stuff, man. I want to help people like that. I want to be in a position to just be like, hey, let's do some wild philanthropy today. Let's go give somebody something. You're like that too, man. If I get rich, I'm gonna buy you a house and buy you a house and buy. You're like
because
Oprah with houses.
What are you gonna do with that money? I mean, obviously, you take care of your family, your closest friends, and then what are you going to do with it? I mean, you can invest it, but also help somebody out, because when you buy something, it's like it makes you happy for a little bit, but when you help out a family, there's no feeling like that. It's
none.
It just feels good in your heart.
Yeah,
that you help somebody out.
I agree.
And you know what? That person's going to do good too.
Yeah,
to somebody else,
because they pay it forward. Whatever you're putting out there. It's going out there. You know how many times we've killed people on the highway in our minds, and then we get to work and have such a crappy day, and then be like, oh man, this day sucked. And it's like you're getting back whatever you put out. He's putting out like philanthropy. He's putting out helping people, and he's getting so much back. He can't give it away fast enough, but he positioned himself to do so, and he's having fun. He's not working. He's having fun. He's doing a video shoot. They go home exhausted, fun, and fulfilled. Bro,
that's awesome. I remember that one episode when they kept him in the they took a guy from his family for I think 90 days, and they put him out in the nowhere in like a big field.
Really?
And then they started toward the end. They started to demolish the house little by little, and it was his birthday. But he couldn't leave a circle. It was like a circle, and he thought he was going to be okay, but he had to ration the food out accordingly. Like he had a lot of food, but if you ate all of it, obviously he's gonna starve.
Yeah.
But he had to. I think it was like he wins $1 million or something like that.
Really?
Or Yeah, and they kept trying to get him to just give up, but they're like, whatever. So he actually survived,
Huh.
but the last couple of weeks it was like really, really hard on the guy. But he
Yeah.
made it through, and he got his family, and he's all good now.
That's
But it
what's,
was a good episode.
and that was Mr. Beast?
Yeah, Mr. Beast.
Really? Yeah, I
I
haven't
was
seen
watching
that
it with
one.
my kids.
No, the kids.
I don't watch too much of it, but
Mhm.
sometimes when I step away
Mhm.
from work,
Yeah.
I'll see him watch, and I'll jump in and watch it. It's pretty good.
Yeah, neither do I. I mean, I catch these every now and again, and it's like, especially like doing research on successful people, I just got to go see what their content is like. So
Yeah.
when I'm reading about Mr. Beast in this book, I'm like, let me find some content from him so I can understand who this individual is and why do people like him so much. And instantly I started liking this guy. I'm like, man, especially when he bought that car lot and the lady came there and he's like, how much do you want to pay for this car? And she was like, I don't know. He's like, just give me a number, any number you want. $1, $2. She was like, a buck. Here you go. Here's the keys. I need $1. Wow. She was like, are you serious? And she was like, this is the car I always wanted. He was like, well, it's yours now. Come on, we got to sign the paper.
Oh man, that is so great.
That's beautiful, awesome. Man. Beautiful. All right, boy, let's do this.
And also, and I'm not sure if in the deal he's got Beast Burger now, because I think it might have been for his empire. He's got a restaurant.
Oh my God! For the entire empire, they offered $1 billion.
I'm not sure, but that's what he was saying. This is.
I haven't. I heard about it. People ask me, but if it's for the whole thing, and does he come with it? And how many years does he come with it? And how many minimum clips is he going to do per month? How many videos is he going to do? If all of that comes together, I think he's right. It's a $10 billion. No, I wouldn't be selling it less than $10 billion.
Yeah, and he has a chocolate bar, and that's already in Walmart now.
Yeah.
And so even off the momentum of his brand, I mean, of course, there would be diminishing results, but that's fascinating. So what do you think that speaks to in terms of, do you think that there's still a big disconnect between the old media world and the new media world respecting a content creator like Mr. Beast, and traditional media still being the weights are not balanced in terms of maybe understanding what this is worth, or do you think it is accurate?
So I mean, but none of that is anything new. Meaning, I'm Armenian and I'm a Syrian, born and raised in Iran, right? I've done very well for myself. I've made a few $100 million, okay? But if I go sit down with my mom who's Armenian, she'll talk about one of her friend's daughters that got a 4-year degree, and I don't have a 4-year degree. So to her, success is a 4-year degree. To her, success is being a doctor. I don't have a PhD. I will never have any plans of getting a PhD or a master's or a bachelor's. So that doesn't change. What is the difference between a person who goes to Harvard and gets a degree from Harvard where on the wall it says Harvard, but they're making $130 a year, versus a person who went to a community college, graduated from a small school, and built a business and sells it for $1.2 billion. In the eyes of an educator, Harvard gets more credibility. In the eyes of a doer, Forbes 400, all the other stuff, of course, you're going to look at the guy that's generated revenue. But media is getting a black eye, and people like him are not slowing down. And this is just the beginning, by the way. What he's been able to build, and it's going to be interesting as he ages and turns 30 or 35 or 40. Is he going to duplicate himself and bring other people to get others to do what he does? Because he has a personality, but he doesn't have Jimmy Fallon's personality. He doesn't have Logan Paul's personality. He doesn't have Jake Paul's personality, meaning his model is duplicatable. Logan Paul is not duplicatable. Jake Paul is not duplicatable. Tate, not duplicatable. Rock, not duplicatable. Mr. Beast, very duplicatable. So imagine if this guy goes and recruits 20, 30, 40 other 16-year-old, 18-year-olds, and he owns 80% of the company, and he teaches them how to do it, and then they go take off. Could this guy in the next 20 years be worth $500 billion? It could very likely happen to a guy like him.
And he's 24.
He's 24, exactly.
When you look at media right now, what are your most important platforms in order for you strategically?
For me strategically, obviously it's YouTube at the top for me.
Why?
Because I'm long form, because I'm, I do my clips in a way where I have multiple channels I'm building it on. So we got valuetainment, we got valuetainment short clips, we got PBD podcast, we got VT money, we got valuetainment Russian, we got Jedediah Bila. So that's where, and valuetainment comedy. So that's where our main driver is. Instagram is playing a very big role right now. Instagram is like Vinny downstairs. He just put up a clip on Instagram, funny clip, just being silly in the office. It's an 11-second clip. It's got 6.9 million views on Instagram. Okay, great.
That's number 2 for you?
Like Instagram, I would say Instagram would be there. Facebook is probably 3. TikTok is good for a lot of people. We were growing very rapidly on TikTok, and every other video would be 100,000 views, 200,000 views. The last time we had 100,000 views was 350 videos ago, so we don't know what's going on there. And we even bumped up the quality of clips. So the same clips we put on TikTok gets 2,000 views, but we'll put it on Instagram and it gets 2 million views, 8 million views, 6 million views. So TikTok to us, it's a little bit tricky. I don't want to get into what that could be.
Hold on. So
What happened? What?
Oh, no. I had some thoughts here as far as like TikTok. So, this is episode 2 for us. And we put some things up on TikTok. If you found us from TikTok, let us know in the comments below. Where did you find us? Where did you see us? Were you browsing on YouTube? Let us know what you thought about that or how you found us. But we use TikTok. And we put some things on there, and we got quite a few views. I mean, for me, this is the most views I've ever had on anything ever.
Yeah, me too.
Ever, like ever, because I don't usually do social media like this, But so what platform, you the viewer, what platform would you get on? Do you prefer YouTube? Do you prefer Facebook? Do you prefer TikTok? What it is? What do you prefer to build your brand, your name, or your content on? Leave us a comment leave us a comment down below. I'm not as perfect as you think I am. I can't remember all this stuff. Hey man, just leave a comment on the video. How about that?
There you go.
Let us know what you think. But what do you think, Dave? As far as
I had a question about the duplication. He was saying how Mr. Beast
is
comparing him to like Jake Paul and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Beast is Mr. Beast. Why is he duplicatable and not Jake Paul?
Real simple. Because Jake Paul is Jake Paul. He is Jake Paul.
Oh, he is. Yeah. Okay.
Mr. Beast is Mr. Beast, but how he's duplicatable is the fact that he can get somebody else. Like he can open up an 11
Mr. Beast burgers.
Yeah, but
he said.
Well, not only that, but think about it. He like, you see how Patrick David is like, he's recruiting talent, right?
Yeah.
And when he's looking at it from that aspect is he can get some 17 or 18-year-old kid that's willing to do the philanthropy part, willing to make some kind of crazy thing, to buy out a restaurant, to make buy out a car lot, to do some of the crazy stuff that he does. Because Mr. Beast is right now, I mean, that's been his claim to fame, almost like his over the top philanthropy. That Squid Game video he did, everybody got money. Everybody. The losers got money too. Yeah. I think it was, I can't remember the full payout, but if you...
Oh, wait, that was the one when they were on the island, right? On his 1 millionth episode or whatever it was.
I don't want to lie to you. I just know in that Squid Game, and I saw pieces of it one time, a long time ago. And this is when Squid Games was really hot. And, it's that stop and go type deal. The people who got shot got like $1,000. Some people got like $500. Some people was getting paid. And if they like got out around, they still got paid. They got paid some sort of money, more money than they walked in there with. I can tell you that much. And a couple of people had some commas in there.
Wow.
And I think quite a few people had some commas. So he what he means by duplicatable, meaning that it's not just the personality, it's the art form, the type of media, the philanthropy part of it, or like a Casey Neistat. Like, I don't know if you know who that is, but he's one of the pioneers of YouTube where
I like watching him.
Yeah. So Casey Neistat is not really duplicatable, but Mr. Beast can possibly be duplicatable. And he's almost talking about doing some sort of thing where it's like, hey, he has an agency, or he has like what's the word I'm looking for? Some sort of production company that he's able to put together and make little Mr. Beast
episode, like separate side project type things, right?
And he's doing,
I think he's got like 4 or 5 of them.
Well, he's got 4 or 5 friends with him, but he's talking about being able to duplicate that process. I'm sorry, I took a long time to explain it. Oh, yeah. No, he's got a few channels, but he's talking about the channels that are cross. What did he say? I can't remember the word he said, but it's basically like he has a channel that's in China. He has a channel that's in
Patrick.
No. Mr. Beast.
I thought he was talking about him because he said he had one in, China.
Oh yeah. Patrick has multiple channels as well, which is contained under valuetainment. So like Jedediah was that lady that was on his podcast. I sent it to you. I have to. We'll talk about that one later. But he does have multiple channels under the umbrella of valuetainment, and that's why he was saying, "Hey, we got this campus that we're making where people can come in and they can switch stuff out and do podcasts there. They could do all sorts of shows there, comedy and everything. But that's under the umbrella of valuetainment." So
I like what he did. I love what he did. He built this empire. He I don't know exactly how Patrick Bet-David started, but it seemed like he had like a podcast of himself, right? What? Sounds better there?
I don't know why you're getting closer to the mic.
Because you're getting closer to the mic.
No, I was just telling you that I told you what he did at the beginning. How he got to where he is. He started, he got into insurance. Boring old insurance.
Oh, wait, didn't he work at a car lot? Was he the one?
No. He's a financial guy. So basically, hold on. Let me I still got this on the screen. This is for Dave audience. Dave wasn't paying attention, but it's okay. Dave is gonna get there.
Selective hearing.
Booty.
And selective memory.
No, you don't, bro. You got the stuff. So basically what happened is after high school, Patrick joined the U.S. military and served in the 101st Airborne before starting a business career in the financial service industry. After a tenure with a couple of traditional companies, he was inspired to launch PHP Agency, an insurance sales, marketing, and distribution company. And he did all of this before he turned 30.
Okay.
Because he's 44 now?
44, yeah.
So he did all that before he turned 30. So he made his hundreds of millions in insurance, marketing, and distribution.
Okay.
And recently he sold his insurance company. He no longer owns it. But you heard what he said he's working on now. He's trying to make like a Warner Brothers style.
Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers. I'm sorry, man. I got the fat tongue today. He's trying to go ahead.
I like what he's doing because he's trying to build this entertainment empire.
Yes.
And have like an SNL type.
Yes.
Thing. And he's bringing in all the talent and people better their lives and he's just sitting back, just in the back seat,
Yeah.
while everybody else is in the front doing their thing.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I would like to do, is help people get the talent, find the talent, put them in the spotlight, and let them take the spotlight.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be in the Publix and somebody, yo, that's that guy that can't talk on YouTube.
Well, you're only what your mind sees you as. This is what you got to change your self-talk, bro. You got to change the way you talk to yourself about yourself. If you keep saying that, you will always be that.
I'm gonna put a recording and just jam it in my ear, go to bed, wake up the next.
I do it every night. Every night before I go to bed, every morning when I wake up, I listen to myself tell myself good things about myself. I'm healthy. I am wealthy. I have a great work ethic. I show up on time. All of this kind of stuff I tell myself. I use the technology that we have available today, record it. I even throw some music in there, to kind of make it sound epic. And then I listen to it, and then I visualize off of that. This is all mindset work. This is why we're doing mindset. This series is the mindset series. So this is about how you view yourself. Yeah, we're talking about positioning, but getting this right will allow you to correct course. Because if you keep
got the head start. You got the head start, though.
Yeah, but I told you, not alone. We're doing this together, man. This is why we're doing this, because we want to inspire other people to do the same thing.
I'm really, really negative on myself all the time. But you're helping me to change that. And it's happening. Just very slowly, but it's happening.
I'm not helping you. I'm inspiring.
I'm helping myself.
I'm inspiring you to change that in you, because I don't want you to make me your anchor. Because if I don't know, if I just stop showing up one day, what are you going to do? Oh, Roger's not here. Oh, I'm back in the negative town. No. Don't make me your anchor. Yeah, I'm putting it out there to you. I'm giving you the juice, giving you the inspiration, but you have to create that anchor on yourself, because like I said before, man, it's about self-improvement. And I started trusting me more, right? I started trusting myself more. I started paying attention. Like, I can do this. Like, I can simply do this. Oh, you mean don't play video games for 7 hours and I'll get something done? Wait. Don't make going to bed a priority on Saturday. Don't sleep in all day. Wait, all of this free time I have on Saturday, I can actually do something with it to improve myself. Those are the changes that I had to make to even get this far. And that's going to take me even further, because I'm willing to sacrifice the things that are holding me back.
Yeah.
Right? I played some video games today. I ain't gonna lie. Hey, I'm not Gary V. I'm not one of these hustles to you break type people. And you're gonna get way more familiar with Gary V, Dave. But I make time for my games now. I'll play like 30 minutes here and there, but not like how I used to. Dave will tell you.
I remember.
I would spend weekends. I literally built this machine, this computer, just for video games. That was my intention. And here's the crazy part about that, right? I built, and I had to have a reason to show this off. You know what I'm saying? I made this controller, one of my favorite games. Shout out to everybody who's waiting on God of War Ragnarok. You don't need to see it, Dave. You've seen this thing before. This is my God of War Kratos edition hitbox that I made, handmade myself, just to play my first favorite game, which is Tekken. right? But then, you know, when I set out on this journey to improve myself, I read something very, very strange and powerful. It says, whatever you think about the most, that's what you're going to get. I was focused on gaming. And then I looked around in my room and I noticed I have huge 27-inch monitors. They're huge for me. I got a microphone for streaming. I got a camera for gaming. I got a PC that can play some really good game titles and do all this crazy stuff. I literally learned how to build a PC just for that. Then I learned how to build a controller just for gaming. So my mind, and I don't really like to use the word manifested because it's not like I'm pulling it out of thin air or anything like that. But my mind pulled me in that direction to get the things to feed the need of gaming that I was trying to feed, right? My mind did that. And I look around, I'm like, whoa, I got all of this stuff in here and it's for games. Oh, light bulb went off. What if I did this for a successful life? What if I shifted my focus instead of just on being game focused? What if I wanted to help people? What if I wanted to be successful? What if I wanted to do more? What if I wanted to have more? What if I wanted something more? What would happen if I focused my mind on those things? I started doing that. Now, all of a sudden I got a podcast where I want to help people. And it's so crazy because I shared one of our clips to a mutual friend of ours from the last company you used to work at. And he sent me back a video today of me 5 years ago, like hiding my face on camera because I did not want to be seen. It's insane.
Who was that?
Emerson.
Emerson.
I ain't want
right.
Emerson. I didn't want to use your name, but Dave got me to use your name. Sorry. And you know what? I'm not cutting this out. Nope. I'm gonna pretend like this is live.
Yeah, he made that up. His name's not Emerson. I know who it is.
Bro, you look like you was having like a stroke.
Mm-hmm. I did that. I can't figure out how to make my eye wink.
He like.
I'm on the computer for 22 hours a day.
Yeah, let's keep it moving because you got to get some rest. It's only 7:39. We're a little bit over, but we're almost done, man. We're almost there.
Hurry up.
He says, "Hurry up, hurry up." He says, "All right, we're gonna try to go through this without pausing. Not unless you have more questions, because I'm loving the fact that you're asking questions."
Well, the whole thing about you saying that you had your computer and you said you didn't manifest it, but
I say I don't like using the word manifest because it kind of brings this connotation like it comes from nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It just dropped out of the air because I thought about it so much. No,
but you wanted it and it happened, right?
Yeah, because I focused my mind on it.
What does that bring you back to that I always wanted?
Your iPad Pro.
No, the MacBook Pro.
MacBook Pro. Okay. iPad. See, I want an iPad Pro. Honestly,
man, I was pissing off everybody in the office.
No, you weren't. You weren't.
Eric wrote, "Hey, can you get this job done? Yeah, if I had a MacBook Pro. Hey, can you do this? Yeah, if I had a MacBook Pro." I kept saying that so many times, and I think after a year of saying it, eventually I got some money. You guys chipped in and got me money.
Yeah,
it was awesome. It was like
we want to make your dream come true.
Yeah. And then I thought about it after I got it. I was like, holy crap, I've asked for this for so long. I put it out there and I actually got one.
Yeah. Now imagine if you did it for something bigger, even bigger, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he literally, like, the first week I met him, I could barely remember his name. But I knew
his name was MacBook Pro.
I knew that this man had a like a freaking like hard on for a MacBook Pro. And I was like, okay, MacBook Pro, all right. And when I tell you, he spent the rest of that year talking about a MacBook Pro to everybody and anybody, contractors, GCs, people at the city knew. It's like people would come to the office that didn't even work in our office. Was like, hey, ain't you the kid that wanted a MacBook Pro?
I need to speak to a MacBook Pro.
Yeah. And then somehow he got us a kip too. He manifested a kip, a kip plotter.
That's a $40,000 plotter.
Yeah. And here's the craziest part about that, right? And this is something that my wife taught me, and things I've been learning as you learn about the mind and how powerful it is. Dopamine. The dopamine hit of expecting that thing to get here, and then when you got it, it's gone. And then what did you do? I don't want it no more.
Yeah. Exactly. Gosh, that got me so mad.
Yeah,
I used it for a good 3 months. Oh, actually, wait. I used it.
Mm-hmm.
My wife calls me after 2 months of having it. She says, "Don't kill me. Don't kill me."
Mm-hmm.
What? You know your MacBook Pro? Oh my God.
Oh, I remember this.
She made a thick smoothie, green. I don't know what it was. And she sent me the picture. The keyboard was covered. I was about to jump to that phone.
Hey, let me tell you something. Let me tell you, when he got that call, now for people who don't know David, his last name is Lopez. So everybody that sees David, we automatically think he's white, right? When I tell you this man turned this like 8 shades color lighter than his shirt that he's currently wearing right now, his eyes got dark. He looked like Beetlejuice. He got that call. And I said, "What happened, man? Did one of the kids get sick? Is your wife okay?" My wife. I was like, is Heather fine? David, is she fine? She spilled a smoothie on my MacBook Pro.
Bro, that was like, I only had it for a couple of weeks. Oh my God.
I thought this man was...
And I never get mad. You know, I never get mad. No. It's hard to piss me off.
Yeah, it's hard to piss him off. Let me tell you, this man looked like he wanted to choke the life out of his wife. And I was like, I'm so happy you at work. Well, wow. When I tell you, his reaction to that was absolutely hilarious to me. I mean, I laughed at him, but I was like, bro, you got to calm down. It's just a computer. It's my MacBook Pro. I've been wanting this MacBook Pro. I finally got it. She does this. She knows.
It's like that leg from Christmas Story. Remember?
Which one?
That movie, The Christmas Story? When he got the leg and it came in a box that said Fragile.
Oh,
you don't watch Christmas Story?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Fragile, when he got that lamp.
That damn leg up there. Anyway, we're getting off track. So yeah.
Hey, it's all good. All right, come on. Let's get back to it. But hey, you know what? That's just the power of your mind, and the fact that we can focus on that. At least we know how this thing works just a little bit better. That's why mindset is key. Focusing your mind on the things that you want, not the things you don't want. On the things that you want, and you'll get it. Because a lot of people will focus their mind on the things they don't want, and guess what? They get it. They get it. Trust me, they get it. All right, let's move on.
Some of the content I talk about is not politically correct. I call out, I challenge. So some places that may or may not perform very well, but I would put those would be the list.
If we do dig a little bit deeper on TikTok, what are some of your predictions? They're going into e-commerce and they're opening warehouses. They're opening warehouses in Amazon's backyard to expand e-commerce. They're now doing still photos. They're doing longer form clips, still photos like Instagram. And Washington Post just did a big deep dive. In 5 years, the app, once written off as a silly dance video fad, has become one of the most prominent, discussed, distrusted technically sophisticated and geopolitically complicated juggernauts on the internet, a phenomenon that has secured an unrivaled grasp on culture and everyday life and intensified the conflict between the world's biggest superpower. No app has grown faster, past 1 billion users, and more than 100 million of them are in the United States, roughly a third of the country. So what are your opinions on TikTok? I wonder if demographics come into play, maybe certainly politics come into play, but if we do actually dive into the world of TikTok, it's a force. It's coming really strong. You've got Trump wants to shut it down, and it's very controversial, but it's also absolutely massive as a strategist and as a predictor of culture. What's your view on TikTok?
So, for example, I'll give you 3 different point of views. What phone do you use? iPhone. What do I have? iPhone. What do you have? iPhone. Okay, so that's not good. You know, one of my guys, I just called him right now, Jose, I was on the phone with him, and I said, I called him back. He says, hey, where are you at? I'm at T-Mobile. Why are you at T-Mobile? Because my phone shut down yesterday. He has an iPhone. Well, he was with Droid for 15 years. He barely switched over to iPhone, right? We need competition. And iPhone doesn't have competition. That's not good for you and me. Google's phone is not strong enough. Droid's getting crushed right now. BlackBerry's been dead. You know, we need somebody that comes out and competes with this. Or else they're very, very close to monopoly here, the way they're growing right now. And that's not a good thing for the market at all, right? So that's 1. 2, if that happens, what's Instagram's competition if TikTok's out? Nobody. So you need Instagram to have a competition. Would you say Snapchat? Their stock is on 85%. Snapchat is not Instagram. It's a very different model than Instagram is. So it wouldn't work out. Who's going to compete against Instagram? Facebook, it's the same company owned by Meta. So LinkedIn's not going to compete. Twitter's not going to compete. They try to do stories and they kind of went away from it. They have it a little bit, but they're not really advertising it to try to compete with Instagram. So I want a competitor to Instagram. Everybody wins because TikTok forces Instagram to get your views up, more audience seeing it. But if TikTok goes away, Instagram's going to say lower back down to 7% and charge people, let them do ads so they can make money. So TikTok's the reason why Facebook's values dropped, where Mark Zuckerberg's lost $60 billion in net worth just this year. TikTok's getting in his way. So okay, so let's see what this is going to look like. So that's that part. Capitalism kind of needs to work, and TikTok helps. TikTok is the least trusted app in America by a lot of people politically, left, right, middle, doesn't matter. They do not trust TikTok. Of course, people don't like Zuckerberg, or they don't like Dorsey, or they don't like some of these names because they're names and they have control of these organizations. But the challenge with TikTok is, with the way they're going, they're 1 or 2 presidents away from being banned for 4 years. Trump almost did it, and DeSantis could do it. I don't think anybody from the other side would do it, but I think Trump or DeSantis, would you be surprised if DeSantis becomes president and says, hey, we looked at the numbers, if you give us this report, you're banned until you give us these reports. So then what's going to happen when he does that? The media on the other side is going to get the youth to be complaining about hating Trump to lose that vote, but the youth doesn't vote anyway, so they're not going to care about that. They're just loud, but they don't vote. India banned 100 apps from their country, TikTok being one of them. TikTok is not allowed in India. You can't go use TikTok in India, and China hates India, and India does not trust China, and India was able to stand up towards China. So yeah, these guys are 1 or 2 presidents away from being banned in America. They're getting as much intel as they can right now. But even when the CEO of TikTok USA was asked questions that, are you reporting back to China? He wouldn't answer the question 3, 4, 5 different times, but he eventually had to say, yes, we have to. Is it ByteDance or whatever the company's name is called, Byte something? They have to report all the data back over to them because that's the company that they report to. So they're 1 or 2 presidents away from being banned by 2024, 2025.
For you, are you hesitant to invest in TikTok? One of the interesting things that they're also building out is search functionality. And apparently Gen Z is using TikTok as a preferred search engine over Google. And the SEO aspects of TikTok are rising. And so in light of them maybe completely getting banned, also, if your results are not happening there, it may just be a strategy to say, we're just going to test everywhere. But for you, do you see any reason to invest more into that because of maybe reaching the next generation? Or are you neutral? anti or seeing strategy to lean in?
I would, because my philosophy is to convert or change the way of thinking, right? For you to say, never thought about it that way. Yeah, you know what? I'll be an entrepreneur. Never thought about it that way. I guess capitalism is not as bad as I thought it was. Never thought about it that way. Rich people are not that bad. Never thought about it that way. I should go learn how to sell. Never thought. So that's my approach to get anybody to say, never thought about it, give some perspective. So I want to be on all platforms to be able to get the audience and help them out with that. My own motive that I have, just like everybody has. But you have to realize, just 5 years ago, we had a phone company competing in America, and it was a $100 billion phone company. Do you remember that phone company's name? Huawei.
Oh yeah.
When's the last time you heard the name Huawei?
They got shut down.
Not in a long time. Yeah. Got a CFO. They told him not to do business with Iran, and the CFO, the daughter of the owner of the company, was in Canada, and she did some dealings with Iran. And it's like, hey, you're done. Guess what? Huawei's out of the States. And you were starting to see people having Huawei phones because Huawei was tapping into and trying to get intel like this. It's gone. So listen, do whatever you can to get a lot of eyeballs, but don't forget, people were addicted to Vine. Where is Vine? It's been replaced by TikTok. It's been replaced by Instagram. Everything's going to be replaced by something new. It's all going to be fine. But what they're trying to do to get the intel and, you know, the dirty plays that TikTok is doing, it's going to catch up to them. It's just a matter of time.
As we land the plane, Adobe did a study called the Future of Creativity Study, and it revealed that 165 million content creators have joined the creator economy since 2020. So there's a massive wave in aspiring content creators. Young people's greatest aspiration, they're saying, is not to be an astronaut, but it's to be a YouTuber. What is the good, the bad, and the ugly of social media? I hear your vision on the good of you can reach people and get a good message to them. But in your deep dive conversation, even with Andrew Tate, I think he mentioned, I'm not sure if you agree, about the harmful nature of social media, just scrolling, shortening attention spans, and just kind of the good, the bad, and the ugly for conflicted parents, for business owners who are wanting to maybe do good, but also have these red flags that social media presents.
So, you know, historically, people have done a lot to get 15 seconds of fame, right? A lot to do 15 seconds of fame, whether it's taking out a president or, you know, getting out there and hurting somebody or fire or doing something to a building. There's just a lot of things that people will do for fame. For whatever reason, that big screen for people to say, I saw you on TV. I saw you on a video. I saw you on this video that went viral. Oh, you saw me? Am I famous? Oh my God, this feels amazing. I'm noticed, right? And when you walk into some place, oh, hey, Sean, how are you? Oh, hi, I watch your content. I love your content. I appreciate what you're doing. Oh, hey, so that feeling is a form of a high, right, that you get. You are being noticed, you're contributing, there's some fame, there's some accolades. We fiend that. Naturally, people fiend recognition. We are driven by recognition. The most humble person in the world, Mother Teresa, became very famous. That's recognition, okay? She got a form of recognition. Billy Graham, the recognition in his eyes could be, I baptized 210 million people in my lifetime. He goes and speaks in Korea, 1.5 million people show up. If you post a picture, Billy Graham, Korea, 1.5 million people. Look at the audience. Makes no sense. These are people that don't speak English. They show up because he's showing up. It's a form of a recognition that he had, right? Okay. So where am I going with this? This is my concern. I have a few friends that are in Hollywood who are A-listers who have done very well for themselves. Now, when we're talking, they'll say, listen, man, are you kidding me politically? You think I'm like them? I'm not like them. I'm this, that. So how about that person? He's also thinks like this. But how come he supports publicly this person and that person? He says, yeah, for obvious reasons. You know, he is not going to get the jobs. He's not going to get the eyeballs. He's not going to keep getting those big movies if he's aligned with those guys. Look what happened to, not Clint Eastwood, he has his own money, so he doesn't give a shit. But look what happened to Mel Gibson. Look what happened to this person. Look what happened to that person. Look what happened to Vince Vaughn. Vince Vaughn did one thing with Ron Paul. What happened to him afterwards? You used to see Vince Vaughn in every single thing. Vince Vaughn's one of the loved favorite actors. What happened to him? He all of a sudden disappeared when they go into this box of how they feel, right? And then Netflix changed the game, and all these other guys, OTTs, were like, listen, screw you. I don't need to beg, Weinstein anymore. I don't need to beg all these guys. But this.
All right, hold on. I kind of wanted to stop at that moment there, because I had some notes here. So I'm gonna backtrack a little bit and go kind of back to TikTok and ask the question: can platforms be an enemy to the creators? Right now in our society, you know, as of last week, Elon bought Twitter. Yeah. And he plans on bringing back Vine. He took a poll and like 70% people want Twitter back. But the reason why he purchased Twitter is because he felt like there was no free speech. And now you have him saying that he's talking to these A-list celebrities, people that seem to support another political view over another, but don't have the same political belief. But then at the same time, they're doing it simply because it's so polarizing out here in these streets. You know, you can't just be like, oh, I support this, and people automatically hate you off the rip. And, you know, that's a mindset. That's something that in our culture we kind of have to deal with, because a mindset like that is very dangerous. To instantly hate somebody that you do not know for simply because they have a different opinion. How could you possibly get anywhere in life with that type of attitude or that type of mindset? I'm just leaving the floor open just in case you want to comment. But, you know, it's just, as we venture on this side quest, you know, we have to remember we don't need to sell out. You know what I'm saying? We don't need to talk about what we believe politically. We don't need to talk about what we believe as a religion, but we shouldn't be afraid, because we live in the freest country on earth, the greatest country on earth. There's no place. You've never heard of somebody saying, oh, I'm going to Japan to get the Japanese dream, or I'm going to Russia to live the Russian dream, or I'm going to Afghanistan to live the Afghanistan dream. It's only America where people from all around the world want to come here and live the American dream. So
yeah, but now it's all messed up now, the way it is. Everybody should be entitled to their opinion, and I think that's what makes us great, is that we can listen to your opinion and make our argument, and then move on, and maybe convince that person that your view is right, or vice versa. It actually changed me with my whole political view, and how I saw only one side and I was kind of blinded to it. But the more I started to think for myself, and then I listened to everybody, listened to their opinions. But before that, I guess as soon as somebody said they like this particular party, I'm like, no, stop. Don't even talk to me. And I would just stop them. But I started to, like, for you kind of opened my eyes to certain things. A couple of my other closer friends. So I'm like, you know what? Let me do research and look into it. And I think other people's opinions are good, and you should embrace that, I guess. I don't know. Just listen to their opinion and see where they're coming from.
Well, you said,
and you shouldn't disrespect the other person.
No. Definitely not. But you said something very key. You said you started thinking for yourself. And when you can think for yourself, when you can engage your brain to be like, well, wait a minute. You said this, but you're doing this. No. No. And when you start paying attention to things for yourself, instead of just going with the flow of whatever is the argument or the heated debate is of the day of what's this, what's that, and I don't want to be particular. That's why I'm painting with broad strokes here. It's just that when you start thinking for yourself, you can get clarity in what it is that you really believe and what you support. And it's sad that in America, right? Did you ever listen to that audiobook of 1984?
Yes, I did. I don't remember much of it, but it was really, it was crazy what they were talking about in that.
Well, in 1984, you had it where they had like cameras on you at all times. Sound familiar?
Mm-hmm.
Listening devices on you at all times. Sound familiar? No, Google, I wasn't talking to you. Not to say that Google is like, infiltrating our home, but we live in a time where that book could instantly become true. People, they couldn't think for themselves. They weren't allowed to think. They literally had thought police. Thought police. It sounds very similar to what was happening when it was like, hey, we need to make sure that we ban content that's not, that sounds fake. Or when you go to a certain person's channel, whoever that might be, that happens to have an opposing view, it just so happened to have what do you call that?
The 3 strikes and you're out.
No, not the 3 strikes. It'll give you a warning. Like, this has been known to cite misleading information. It's like, why are you trying to police my thoughts?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I noticed that too, and it's so annoying because I'm trying to go back in time when none of this was here, and it's so weird because it's like, you want to hear other people's opinion without getting it blocked. I want to hear it.
Yeah,
regardless if it's bad or good.
I need both sides of the story so I can understand. Because when you only get one side of the story, how can anybody actually see the truth in anything? But this is all going back to mindset. What kind of mindset do you have? People at home, what kind of mindset do you have on this? Or do you want the people who don't support you to not be heard? And if so, why? Because they might be saying something that you need to hear, and vice versa. If you want everybody to be heard, but yet you have this block in your head that you don't want to understand both sides of the story, you're like, hey, look, I don't care what either side is saying on this, but I don't even want to be involved. And it's like, you live in this country too, my friend. You got to be involved some way, somehow. But it's back to the mindset. What does your mindset say to you? What does your mind tell you when you hear things like this? I mean, this guy is literally making very good points here, but then at the same time, he's also letting everybody get a chance to see a peek behind the curtain of how people are thinking about our current environment right now in America. And it's so strange. And you and I, we both know somebody who immigrated from Cuba to Russia, lived in the two like most dominant communist countries on earth. And when they came here, they're like, yo, man, y'all starting to turn into like some of these countries I just left. And he just got his citizenship. That's scary. But we can always change it. We can always change it. And it starts here, one person at a time. All right, we're almost close, man. We're almost there. I see you over there. You fading. You fading.
No, I'm not fading. Nah. Just my wife isn't back home yet. She's supposed to take her medicine at 7:30. I don't know where the heck she's at.
Okay,
so if you see me looking down, I'm texting my wife.
Okay, do you wanna pause and text her and find out what's going on?
Yeah, let me see.
Or call Jackie.
No, because my phone's up there. Are you? Oops. Back space. You. Okay. There. Okay, go.
All right. Here we go.
This is where I'm going with it. Sometimes being so concerned about eyeballs forces you to put eyeballs over what you stand for. where it's recognition more than true values and principles. If you can manage that and still stay true to your character and your values and principles and not compromise that, no matter how many eyeballs you get, good for you. But if we're gonna go in the direction where 164 million, what the number you said, 165 million content creators, and your goal is to measure success based on subscribership, based on AdSense, based on views, well, what does that really mean? Does that mean you're gonna have to compromise to do anything to get the eyeballs and subscribers? So that's the only thing that concerns me a little bit, that if that's recognition, there's anything I can do to get 15 seconds of fame, are you willing to go that far? I'm not willing to do it, because now you're lying. Now you're being somebody you're not, just to protect the agency that's representing you. You're with WME, and WME, if they find out you said this, oh my God, you're gonna lose that sponsorship with Sprite and that sponsorship. I don't know. So, that's my only concern about it. I don't think it's anything new where people are afraid of saying what they say because somebody's in their pocket that they're paying them, so they don't want to say anything bad about them. So does it produce more fake people or real people? We won't find out for another 10, 20, 30 years. But if you were to ask me, that'd be my number one concern.
Last question. On your 44th birthday, if you could look back at a young entrepreneur, call it in their 20s, building a company, and especially for our community, a lot of people, we're calling them content entrepreneurs. It's the idea that you can build a media business as a solopreneur, so many different ways to make revenue. What are just some of the advice in maybe this reflective day that you would just give to a young entrepreneur 10, 15 years back?
For a contentpreneur or an entrepreneur running a real business as an operator?
Let's go content
let's
entrepreneur.
do that. Okay, so content entrepreneur. So if it's content entrepreneur, it would be one word, and it's alignment. Let me explain what I mean by this, alignment. So if you can be yourself and create content, so you're not acting, I think you're winning. But if you have to play somebody else to get eyeballs where you're acting, and that's what gets the eyeballs, where the you won't get the real eyeballs, I think that's a conflict. That's a little bit of a conflict. So everything to me is what happens. For example, let's just say I'm telling you, you got to live by these 10 rules. These are the 10 values and principles. Sean, you got to live by this. And I'm your dad and I'm telling you this. And I don't live by that. Deep down inside, I have conflicts. And I have internal conflict, which is a worse kind of conflict. Forget about the conflict I have with you. I have internal conflict. Because when there's internal conflict, everybody around you feels it, right? Because you're not living an aligned life. When I was creating content and I'm trying to be something I'm like, not only am I not enjoying it, but it's not also doing good. So I don't care to be that. Listen, I can't help myself. I love talking about politics. I'm going to keep doing that. I love capitalism. I'm going to keep doing that. I love entrepreneurship. I'm going to talk about that. I love, interviewing people who are in certain industries that I have interest over. I'm going to keep pursuing that topic. And then if there's an audience for it, fantastic. If there's not, it's all good. But trying to compromise who you are on the big screen to get eyeballs versus, my biggest suggestion would be try to match these two together. And then listen, it doesn't mean you don't get creative. You want to get creative, we'll have a board here, we'll sit down and I had a meeting with a couple of my content creators on talent, and I'm sitting there talking to one of them, I'm saying, listen, why are you still talking about this? Well, because it's what I stand for. There's no way I cannot talk about this. I said, listen, that's 9 months ago. People have moved on. It's over. What other interests do you have? So I sat and had a 2-hour meeting with one of my content creators, and I said, what bothers you? We wrote it down, 20 things. What do you love? We wrote it down. What do you hate? We wrote it down. When you were a kid, what interests did you have? What do you know a lot about that I don't know? Do you know a lot about the Yankees? Do you know a lot about the history of animals? Do you like lions? Did you grow up tell me what do you know about Middle East? Did you study theology? Do you know a lot about politics? Do you know a lot about the law? What do you know a lot about? Yesterday, I'm sitting with my son, my 10-year-old son tells me, he says, Daddy, do you know that there's certain sea bass that you eat that has a poison, that if you eat the sea bass, hot becomes cold and cold becomes hot, that you can't even have ice in your drinks because your mouth will feel like you're on fire. I'm like, what are you talking about? He says, no, I'm telling you. Like, this guy's trying to pull a prank. So I go and I research. I'm like, this kid is right. There's a poison what did you learn about this? I read it in a book. So my son loves reading the 5,000 fact books, right? So if he wanted to create content, he can create a fact thing. He can do different things. So You know, if you can figure out a way to improve yourself as a content creator, where talking to another guy yesterday who's got 950,000 subs, and he's been around that number for about 6 months. You know how frustrating it is to be at 950.
Sure.
Very annoying, because you're kind of like, dude, I'm right there at 1 million, but I'm annoyed, right? And he's reached the limit of his content. He's reached where his audience, they don't have interest on the same things he talked about for the last 2 years, because his content is limited based on life experiences, and he no longer has any life experiences to share that's new. They've heard all of it in 200 episodes. So now what does he do? He has to figure out a way, because the audience is like, we got everything from you already. Now you're trying to give us something new. If he doesn't adjust, he's going to be a YouTube channel that got 1 million subs based on the videos he did, not any more interest on anything new. It's a very emotional place to be when you're there, because you're no longer getting that attention. So it is an emotional job. It is tough. It is draining. Your insecurity is going to come out. You're going to be going on streaks where you feel like nobody cares anymore. You're forgotten about. But if you constantly try to recreate yourself while still staying true to your values and principles, new audience will constantly show up.
Patrick David, we thank you for your time today.
All right. Dude, first things first. Is your wife okay? Did she answer you back?
No.
All right. So I need you to go and call Heather. And
I can't, because the camera's going to get knocked out.
Yeah, no. This is what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and end it right here, because David's got more higher priorities than this. But
the video comes first. What are you talking about?
Boy, shut up. One thing, what we're going to do is say this: content is king, right? Authenticity is king, but content with being authentic, true to yourself, is what he's trying to say right here. So we're doing what he's asking. You at home, do the same thing too. David, go find out if your wife is good. I'm going to go in here and get with the rest of the family. I'm going to be looking for a call from you very soon, sir, to let me know. All right.
Okay.
This is episode 2. We'll see you for episode 3 later.
See ya.
All right.